Welcome to your Saga Oasis. Don't wish for happily ever after. Happiness from love is the kind of feeling most people think of first when mentioning the word happiness. Love can bring about the most intense emotions, but it can also cause a lot of pain if we don't know how to control it. Ironically, few are taught how to love properly and master their own love. When it comes to mastering love, some may wonder why it's necessary to learn how to love, fearing it might strip away its naturalness and emotions. So join us on this journey to understand why stepping into the realm of love without any preparation might affect the long-term happiness of both parties. Love is meant to make two people better. We need to distinguish clearly between mastering our own love and mastering the person we love. Let's take a look at a familiar love story around us. Most couples, when in love, often aim for the goal of marriage. When getting married, their shared desire is to have a happily ever after. This sounds so obvious to the point that few pause to ask, why does loving someone have to lead to marriage? Why does marriage have to aim for a lifetime together? We're fortunate to find someone we love, which isn't easy, but after a while of being in love, we tend to want to possess the other person. And one of the most common ways to assert this ownership is through getting married and having a wedding ceremony. Many believe these actions will keep them together for a lifetime and ensure 100 years of happiness. However, this sequence of actions is somewhat illogical and can even be the cause of many problems affecting our happiness. Firstly, the person we love is not an item we can put a ring on and declare ownership over. Secondly, preserving the feeling of happiness between both parties is more important than holding on to the person. Because if we manage to keep them around without feeling happy, then holding on to them loses its meaning. Let's reconsider the root of the issue together. Why do we love each other? The sole reason is to bring more happiness to both parties. This means our lives were already happy enough before love came along, and with love, we hope it will bring even more happiness. Imagine you're doing a job you love, occasionally engaging in social activities and having enjoyable family gatherings every weekend. But what if the person you love wants you to dedicate all your time to them, leaving you with no time for work, family, and personal hobbies? Your entire time is solely for them. Even though you might find happiness from love, clearly, this is a toxic love. It no longer enriches your life, but becomes a burden, taking away your joy and personal freedom. Love should be a source of inspiration that makes our lives better. Imagine life as riding a bike. Before meeting each other, each person had their own journey with certain joys and accomplishments. When two people decide to ride together on a tandem bike, the journey becomes not only longer and faster, but also more enjoyable than when each person rides alone. This is the model of positive love, where both not only bring happiness to each other, but also enhance the quality of their shared life. However, imagine if after a while, one of them no longer wants to pedal, and the journey is filled with constant arguments. The other person has to exert extra effort to pedal for both, causing the speed and distance traveled to decrease. This scenario illustrates a relationship that has become more burdensome, no longer offering mutual support. Worse still, if both people no longer want to pedal, the bike will come to a complete stop. In such situations, what both should do is return to riding their own single bikes as before, to regain balance and joy in their individual lives. If the relationship doesn't make both individuals' lives better, then at the very least, it should allow each person to find joy as they did before, or even find someone else who can accompany and share the journey in a better way. There's no reason for both to continue clinging wearily to each other, ultimately causing harm to each other. Every love has its expiry date. Viewing love as something with an expiry date can help us cherish the moments together more. Every relationship, whether it lasts for a year, 10 years, or 50 years, is precious and brings cherished memories. Instead of looking back and feeling regretful about the time gone after the end of a relationship, why not see it as happy and precious years experienced together? The way we maintain a relationship is like how we maintain a car. If we take good care of it, perform regular maintenance, the car can extend its lifespan and operate efficiently. Conversely, if we neglect it, fail to maintain it, or use it recklessly, the car will quickly deteriorate and break down. Then, when the car breaks down or problems arise in the relationship, people are often surprised and unsure of what to do. Instead of seeking solutions, they tend to neglect it, hoping that everything will sort itself out. But no, continuing to drive a clearly malfunctioning car without maintenance or repair will only lead to more serious damage. And it's quite amusing when some people, even though they know their car is seriously damaged and beyond repair, they still hold on to it. Every day, they push that car around everywhere on the road, turning it into a burden that prevents them from doing anything else. Isn't that absurd? But just take a look around, and you'll see plenty of cases where the love between two people has long gone out. Their love car has rusted and cannot be salvaged, yet instead of sitting down to admit that continuing to be together no longer brings happiness but only sadness, why don't they set each other free? They can still regard each other as friends or even as family to support each other when needed and seek new happiness in life. But most of them choose to continue pushing that broken car throughout the rest of their lives. It's such a pity. The reason is that many people often fear societal prejudices and the disapproval of those around them. This so-called irrational fear prevents them from facing the truth that personal happiness is more important than others' opinions. However, when there are children involved, everything becomes more complicated. We must carefully consider whether the relationship is truly beyond salvage. If after trying our best, we still can't improve things, perhaps having children live in an environment where their parents no longer love each other, or even worse, where there's ill feeling between them, would be more damaging than separating and allowing the children to live away from one of the parents. Therefore, when love has expired, although it's heartbreaking, sometimes the best solution is to give each other the chance to walk on separate paths, making each person's journey lighter and more meaningful. In a logical aspect of marriage, weddings, the concept of a wedding can vary greatly for each individual. A wedding can be an event that brings great happiness to two people in love, giving them an extra day of joy when they choose to organize it in a way that reflects their love and desires. However, if a wedding becomes an obligation or a mere ritual to meet societal expectations, then it becomes pointless. Let's imagine we meet, fall in love, and every day is filled with happiness. Then, one day, we come up with the idea that we need to possess each other through something called a wedding. Right from this initial motive, there's something illogical because we are humans not objects or slaves to be possessed. Then, from the moment we decide to have a wedding, we start busily preparing everything, from printing invitations, taking wedding photos, making guest lists, booking a venue, and a host of other tasks. Sometimes, wedding is not a happy occasion for the couple anymore. It becomes an obligation to their parents and relatives. It's like an opportunity for them to announce that their child has found a partner and has organized a proper wedding. Even worse, in some cases, weddings are seen as an opportunity to collect congratulatory money as a way to recover expenses from previous weddings attended. This turns our happiness into a form of business. If we want to enjoy life together, then why not simply move in together instead of going through all the hassle and stress of various procedures? Instead of spending money on a wedding, why not book a vacation at a resort on an island somewhere where we can spend a few weeks truly enjoying happy days together, marking a new beginning that only the two of us know? And if you're worried that doing so will make it difficult for your parents to deal with the disapproval from those around them, remember that if your parents truly love you, what they care about most is your happiness. Organizing a wedding does not guarantee you'll be happier. In fact, as shared, sometimes it even creates risks that make us more likely to lose happiness. The wedding creates pressure. Sometimes, organizing a wedding naturally creates unnecessary pressure. When you go through the rituals of the wedding ceremony, the feeling of, now I have to live with this person for the rest of my life, is a significant commitment and may exceed your capacity. This pressure often leads to tension in the relationship and may even cause cracks to appear. In English, there's a term called cold feet to describe people suddenly feeling scared about getting married. Instead of focusing on enjoying the happiness we have right in front of us, we start organizing weddings, which can then affect our current happiness. Clearly, that's illogical. The wedding generates expectations. The wish for 100 years of happiness, often expressed to the bride and groom at weddings, is actually an expectation. Love only exists when it is created by both parties, us and our loved ones. But we cannot control the thoughts and actions of the other person. Today, they may feel a certain way, but tomorrow, they may change. Therefore, setting a goal of 100 years of happiness is an uncontrollable expectation, so such expectations often lead to disappointment. The wedding creates illusions. The wish for 100 years of happiness often creates an illusion that we have plenty of time, as if we have another 100 years to live. But if we're not sure whether this relationship will last for long, maybe just 1 year, 3 years, or less, then we should try to feel and appreciate love, living fully every day. If the other person is causing us discomfort, we might think, I don't know how long this relationship will last, so I'll overlook this issue and focus on the current happiness. Even if we have negative thoughts like, I can't live with this person like this for 100 years, so I'll ignore these petty issues, it could still lead to positive outcomes, like avoiding unnecessary arguments. However, if we have the mindset of, oh, I have to live with this person for a lifetime, even if they have some annoying traits, that thought might ruin our lives, causing us to forget to enjoy the present happiness. Why do people still organize weddings? People still organize weddings for various reasons. One of the most common reasons is to make their loved one happy. The second reason for organizing a wedding is to adhere to social traditions and avoid criticism from family and peers. However, we shouldn't be too concerned about other people's opinions about our lives, because those who often impose their standards and thoughts on others often don't have happy and fulfilling lives themselves. People with happy lives often don't have time to judge others' lives. Those who truly love us only care about one thing, whether we are happy or not. The third common reason is often the belief that a wedding will ensure long-term happiness. But in reality, that's just a misunderstanding. A wedding is just a celebration, and a marriage certificate is just a piece of paper. If there's no love and happiness, then even 100 pieces of paper can't protect your marriage. If the relationship is no longer happy, then continuing to hold on to it no longer has any meaning. Let's return to the true essence of love, to create more happiness together in each other's lives. You don't need to care about rituals or the opinions of others. Those people just make a few judgments and then go back to their own issues. Only happiness stays with us, and we will be together until our shared journey no longer brings happiness. When a relationship encounters problems, let's try to fix it together until it can no longer be repaired. Then, let's gracefully and civilizedly part ways, allowing each other to embark on a new path so that we both may have 2 more worth living lifetimes. Remember that all love has an expiration date, so cherish the time we have to use it. When it ends, think of it as fortunate to have had that sweet time, rather than thinking of it as unlucky, wasting time on a relationship that wasn't meant to last. Wishing each other a love lasting 100 years is not necessarily a bad thing, as it reflects a good desire, hoping that the person being wished will have a long-lasting and sustainable love. We can listen to those wishes, but then let's focus on living well each day. If we are only together for a short time, but it's a happy time, then that's still a good thing. Our lives are a journey of collecting happy days so that when we look back, we can see many valuable memories. Don't make life too complicated with old standards or prejudices, but live naturally and happily together. We hope you gain more confidence to always take charge of your own happiness. Don't forget to share your perspectives with us. We're always here and listening to you. It's the end of the video. Thank you for joining us today. And don't miss out on more videos from us by subscribing and turning on the notification bell icon.